I am Tamala Saldana, and I am the Compliance Officer with the Small and Minority Business Resources Department. Today, I will be covering Compliance 101 to the Minority Women Business Enterprise Program for the City of Austin. Today's objectives is to provide an overview of the Small and Minority Business Resources Department, to highlight the MWBE program ordinance and rules, to provide an overview for bidders and proposers who are interested in bidding and performing on the City of Austin's projects, to include pre-award responsibilities as well as post-award responsibilities, to include subcontractor responsibilities as well. We will go over the city's MWBE compliance forms, as well as talk about violations to the city's MWBE program. What is the city's MWBE program? It was established in 1987. It provides criteria for interested bidders and proposers to solicit the participation of certified MWBEs to make commitments throughout the project. It also establishes guidelines for certified businesses, MWBEs, WBEs, as well as the city's disadvantaged business enterprise, as well as airport concessions to business enterprise, which is governed by 49 CFR Part 23. The Small and Minority Business Resources has 3 divisions. We administer the MWBE Enterprise Program, as well as the Federal Disadvantaged Business and ACDBE program. Our certification department certifies small and minority businesses who are interested in performing as subs or as primes on city procurements. Our resources department provides development opportunities and resources for small businesses so that they could have equal access to city procurements and show productive growth. The compliance division, we monitor, set goals, and assure compliance to the city's MWBE program from cradle to grave on all procurements in which a goal has been established. Here are a few highlights of the ordinance and program rules. The city's MWBE program has 4 city codes for procurement areas to include construction, professional services, non-professional services, as well as commodities. The program rules are quite lengthy. However, they establish guidelines, eligibility, third-party challenges, appeals to certification decisions, also include graduation guidelines for MWBEs. It also sets goals for participation on projects for certified firms. It also provides information related to submission of solicitation documents, pre-award and post-award compliance, as well as how the city monitors contract performance and closeout contracts. Goal setting. Our goals are established annually for participation goals. It is expressed as a cumulative goal for minority groups and a separate goal for women-owned businesses. On each contract, the small and minority businesses reviews each solicitation to establish if a goal is appropriate, and if so, what that specific goal will be based on availability of MBEs and WBEs that are certified in the city's marketplace. The goal is expressed as a percentage for each ethnic group or women under each contract type. Here's the city's annual participation goals. These are the overall aspirational goals for the City of Austin, which is based on a 2008 disparity study. They are expressed in percentage by each ethnic group for each industry to include construction, professional services, non-professional services, as well as commodities. Project-specific goals are more realistic in terms of looking at them at the particular solicitation in which you are interested in bidding on or proposing on for the city of Austin. It's based on a formula, an industry formula, that looks at the number of certified vendors per ethnic category, per scope of work, and spits out a percentage, a participation percentage based on total vendors. Let's talk about pre-award responsibilities and completing compliance forms. At the pre-award stage, each of those scopes of work and the percentage is then transferred to a compliance plan. Firms are compliant by either meeting the solicitation goals or meeting the city's good faith effort requirements, in which I will go over shortly. Each participation goal is applied to each ethnic group and will be expressed and auto-filled in for you to review. When looking at the city's participation goal, you are able to count certified firms who agree to do work for the price of scope on your compliance plan. You must list all firms, both certified and non-certified, that will participate on the contract. You can only count towards participation City of Austin certified firms. Certified MWBE firms who are also submitting a bid or proposal may count their own participation less any subcontract amount. A City of Austin firm must be certified in that scope of work to count towards the goal. Duly certified firms with MBE or WBE code must only be used to meet either the MBE goal or the WBE goal, but not both. Use only the base bid amount or the proposal amount to calculate your MWBE participation. Now let's talk about good faith efforts. For those firms who are unable to meet the goal by utilizing City of Austin certified firm, should perform good faith effort and document their efforts to solicit and negotiate with certified MWBEs. That documentation for your good faith effort should be submitted with your proposal or with your bid. Good faith effort steps include notifying all certified firms on the availability list, giving them at least 7 business days prior to the bid closing to respond to your effort. You should solicit MWBEs from the availability list that is provided to you by the SMBR department by 2 separate, reasonable, and verified methods. That means simply contacting each firm on the availability list by sending them a fax and an email, or by sending them an email and a letter, or by sending them an email and contacting them by phone. You must publish that same notice that you're sending to MWBE firms in a local publication, which could include your Facebook account or any social media account that your company or firm has. You must also seek the services in women-owned chambers or other organizations, which SMBR does provide to you. You must consider selecting portions of work that will increase the likelihood of MWBE opportunities in order to meet your goal, and you should negotiate with MWBE firms in good faith to do business. Again, you must document your justification for not meeting MWBE goals on the compliance form. And finally, a necessary step is to contact SMBR, your assigned business development counselor, for assistance. The MWBE compliance plan, be sure when completing it that the firm is a certified City of Austin from the availability list provided to you. Be sure that the certified firm you are using is certified in the specific commodity code. Only list on the compliance plan scopes of work for which you will perform on this contract. Certified primes, again, may count their own participation towards the goal. Count every level of subcontractor participation toward the goal. Again, duly certified firms can be counted either as an MBE or WBE, but not both. Specifically, provide the dollar value and or percentage of work each certified firm, as well as your firm, will perform on that specific contract. Complete the good faith effort checklist and submit your GFE documentation if you do not meet the goals with your bid or proposal. Here's another look at the MWBE goals on the compliance plan. This section is pre-filled, is auto-generated, and provides specific information for each solicitation. In this instance, you can see that the African American goal is 2.47, the WBE goal is 3.91, and so forth. Here is the bidder information as we take a closer look at the compliance plan. This section is to be completed with your company information to include your vendor code, also the contact person who we can speak with regarding this specific compliance plan. You should also indicate if you are certified as a City of Austin. A reminder, all firms must be registered with the City of Austin to perform on a City of Austin project. Certification is a separate designated process. Section 3 of the compliance plan provides a summary of the subcontractor participation for this specific bid. Therefore, if there are any inconsistencies between Section 4 and 7 and Section 3, the calculations contained in Section 4 through 7 will prevail. Your percentages in the column, in the far right column, should total 100%. If the bidder indicates that they did not meet the goal with certified MWBE firms, the bidder shall submit again the GFE documentation with their bid or proposal. When calculating subcontractor participation, you must use the base bid amount. Section 4 includes the disclosure of certified firms. Please, all company information should match the information on the vendor profile. Please complete the contact person name who we could speak with regards to the compliance plan. Only indicate the codes the subcontractor agrees to perform for this specific solicitation. Do not copy and paste all the scopes of work listed on their vendor profile and indicated here in the commodity code descriptions or the commodity code. Note, duly certified firms may only count again towards either the MBE goal or the WBE goal, but not both. Section 5 is the disclosure of non-certified firms. All company information should also match the vendor profile. Please complete the information regarding the company's information to include their name, their address, and the specific contact person in which we could speak to regarding this compliance plan. Again, only indicate the codes the subcontractor agrees to perform for this specific contract. Section 6 is the disclosure of second-tier sub. Similar to the other sections, list all subcontractors that will be second-tier to your first-tier subcontractors. Note, certified second-tier subs can count towards meeting the goal. And again, we ask that you complete the information in its entirety and only list the specific codes in which this second-tier sub will perform on your contract. Section 7 is the disclosure of primary and alternate trucking subs. Here again, we ask that you complete this information in its entirety, only indicate the codes the subcontractor agrees to perform, and do not list all scopes listed on their vendor profile. You may list haulers in Section 7 and the corresponding Section 4 and 6 to ensure proper counting of participation as well. Section 8 is the good faith efforts checklist of the compliance plan. Please answer, is each stated project goal to include the African American goal, the Hispanic goal, the Native Asian goal, and the WBE goal met? If your answer is yes, check yes. GFE requirements are satisfied. If no, you must perform GFE as indicated in Section 8 of the checklist. Meeting good faith effort requirements. I'll review this quickly again. You must notify a certified firm using two separate methods, 7 days prior to the bid date, by either fax, email, mail, or phone. Notice should contain project requirements, information, addenda, contact information, and due dates for responding. Follow up with interested MWBE firms and document your follow-up and your efforts to negotiate in good faith with interested MWBEs. Publish the notice in a local publication, newspaper, or social media or other electronic media. And contact SMBR for assistance. Seek the services of trade associations and other minority groups. And remember to select portions of work that will increase MWBE opportunities on your solicitation. Additional GFE requirements means documenting your assistance to MWBE firms with providing them bonding, lines of credit, or insurance, or obtaining necessary equipment or supplies or materials to help the likelihood that they can perform on your specific contract. Document additional GFE efforts as well. This is the GFE verification form in which we send to all MWBEs in a specific ethnic group in which you did not meet the goal. This verification form verifies if the company did in fact receive a bid from you, if and how they received the bid from your firm, and where they received the opportunity from. It also asks them, did you follow up? And if there was any additional assistance provided by your firm. We are showing this form because these are again sent to all sub-opportunity or all MWBEs on the availability list. We ask that certified MWBEs, if once they receive a GFE verification form, please respond, as this assures and helps us in assuring compliance to the MWBE program. Here's a few reminders and tips. Review the solicitation documents for project goals. Verify MWBE certifications. Specifically, make sure that the MWBE firm that you are utilizing or plan to utilize is a City of Austin certified firm. Use the availability list and contact SMBR if additional scopes you identify are not on the availability list. Attach all good faith effort documentations if your goals are not met. MWBEs, again, please respond to the GFE survey. There are times when the City of Austin reviews a solicitation and no goals are assigned to a particular solicitation. In this case, bidders and proposers are asked to complete the 0900 form or the no-go sub-utilization form. If subs are identified, then you must comply with the City of Austin's procurement program, MWBE program rules, and perform good faith efforts to use cities, MWBEs, and WBEs where you have identified goals. You still are required to submit sub-K reports, which I'll talk about shortly. And again, you must utilize the firms in which you have indicated on the form. You are still required to complete all compliance requirements to include requests for changes, which I'll talk about shortly, as well as closing out the contract through a contract closeout form. This is the no-go compliance form. As you will see, it's similar in that you will complete your offer information indicating whether you are a certified firm. You also will check and follow the instruction if you do not plan to utilize subcontractors. Check no, and your requirement has been completed. If you do plan to use subcontractors, you must then complete good faith efforts and submit that good faith effort with your proposal and or bid. Here, you must indicate any subs that you plan to utilize. Indicate if the sub is an MBE or WBE. Provide the same specific information in terms of the dollar amount or percentage of work and the commodity codes in which you plan to use a subcontractor or a subconsultant. Again, if you have identified additional opportunities where the City of Austin has placed a no-go on a solicitation and you are going to plan to utilize a sub, you must contact SMBR and obtain an availability list and solicit those firms on the availability list and perform good faith efforts. There are times where contractors have failed to either meet the goal and did not submit good faith effort documentation. These particular bidders or proposers are deemed non-compliant. We review this information with our procurement agent in the procurement office. SMBR may reconsider upon appeal, or you can be subject to a hearing with a hearing officer, and you can appeal the decision through the city manager's office. Now we'll talk about post-award responsibilities after you've earned or been awarded a City of Austin's contract. Post-award activities include a pre-con or kickoff meeting, monthly, weekly progress meetings with your project manager. For each City of Austin contract, a sub-utilization or sub-K report is required. There are sub-utilization forms, SUF, on engineering-related contracts. If there are any contract changes, you must submit a request for change form. And then finally, at the end of your project, you will submit a final MWBE closeout. Also, post-award activities include looking at some violations that happen on City of Austin's projects with regards to the MWBE program. A kickoff meeting and progress meetings. Here, key points of the project is emphasized. We go over as the City of Austin the use of subs listed and approved on your compliance plan. We give you a copy of your compliance plan at your first kickoff meeting for your project. You should notify subs of any changes to scopes or deletions, increases or decreases from the City of Austin. Submit reports for the contract requirement. Obtain SMBR approval prior to any changes. Contact SMBR for additional availability lists for work that you initially thought you were going to self-perform. And perhaps now you need to solicit subs to participate on the contract for that scope of work. Violations are issued to the contractor and consultant, not to subs. So please remind your subs, if they are soliciting additional assistance through second-tier, third-tier subs, that they must consult with you, and you must contact SMBR and notify your project manager prior to the work being performed. All MWB forms are reviewed by SMBR to include the request for change. SMBR will perform audits and contact MWB vendors and ask if they are aware of the changes on the form or have any payments to report. This is a sub-K expenditure report that is submitted by prime contractors or prime consultants on a monthly basis, indicating any and all payments to subcontractors, second-tier subcontractors on a monthly basis. This is pre-populated form, very specific to your particular contract. And again, it's submitted on a monthly payment indicating payments to all subs and second-tier subs on the project. Next, let's talk about the request for change process. This is a process by which, again, if there is any contract change, whether it's a substitution, deletion, or if you in fact have changed any type of scope, a dollar value of a scope of work, you would submit a request for change. The form and backup document is submitted to your project manager. The project manager reviews that information and, if agreeable, signs and forwards the information to the Small and Minority Business Resource Department. SMBR reviews and forwards reviews the document, and if approved, forwards the approval to the project manager and the appropriate contracting entity, either the Capital Contracting Office or directly to your department in which you are working with. The project manager then forwards the contract information, the request for change document, to the contractor or to the consultant. Here's a copy of a request for change form in which you will receive at your first kickoff meeting, contract meeting. This form, again, is filled out by you as the prime contractor or prime consultant, indicating whether you are doing a deletion, addition, substitution, or a contract change to include an increase to a sub's amount or a decrease to the existing scope of work for a subcontract amount. This form, again, must be signed by you, and it is also signed by the project manager. It is reviewed by your assigned business development counselor and approved by the SMBR compliance officer. This is a contract closeout. Throughout the contract, as you are completing information related to the sub-K, at the end of your contract, that information is compiled into a summary of information in terms of the participation, any approved change, and the final total that you paid to each subs listed on the compliance plan. You must submit this form with proof of payment to your subcontractors and subconsultants to the project manager for review. This form is then forwarded to SMBR for final approval. Let's talk about program violations. Program violations to the Small and Minority Business MWBE program include providing false or misleading information, either on the compliance plan, a request for change, or a closeout document. A program violation can also occur when making changes without SMBR's approval and submission of a request for change form. Adding new subcontractors to include tier-level subs without notifying the City of Austin. Refer to the definition of subcontractor and be sure that anyone performing work on your project has been approved by SMBR. That includes deleting approved subs as well as substituting subcontractors. Do not delete or substitute subcontractors without due notice. You must give subcontractors an opportunity to cure performance and do so in writing. Again, any contract changes, including decreases or adding of a new scope, should be documented and approved through a request for change form. When utilizing subcontractors on a no-go project without notifying the City of Austin, even though there was no goals established, it could lead to a violation. Failing to meet the contractual goals of sub-goals without justification could lead to a program violation. And finally, bid shopping is not allowed and could lead to a program violation. Impacts of a violation. This could impact consultants and contractors. It will or could lead to limitations of bidding on future projects. Violations do not, however, affect current active contracts, but future contracts. It also will impact city staff performance measures and department credibility. So please be sure, if you have any questions about your City of Austin contract and the use of consultants or contractors as subs, please ask the Department of Small and Minority Business Resources or verify with your project manager. Sanctions for violations are progressive and exist in a rolling 24-month period. The first violation is probation up to 6 months. Second violation is suspension for a period up to 24 months. And a third violation could lead to debarment for a period of up to 5 years. There is a protest process available. However, SMBR recommends sanctions to the purchasing office and works with the purchasing office on any appeals. However, the purchasing office enforces the appropriate sanctions. Again, contractors may appeal program violations. The first step in the appeal is to appeal to the SMBR director, and this is an informal appeal process. If a second appeal is required, it is with the procurement agent. You must petition to the appropriate procurement agent, and an independent hearing officer will be assigned. Again, approve requests and schedule. After this, we will approve and request a scheduled meeting for the hearing. However, if we do not deny your request, the sanction does apply and moves forward. Finally, we are here to help you. So please, if you have any questions regarding the SMBR's MWBE, the City of Austin's MWBE program, feel free to contact us at smbr-compliance-documents@austin.gov. We assign for each City of Austin solicitation that the MWBE program applies to a business development counselor. We have a team of counselors waiting to assist you to be compliant on your project at the pre-award stage and assure compliance to the City's Austin MWBE program throughout the life of the contract. Please contact us. Thank you.